For me, this hit me on a super deep level because my whole family had struggled with food issues. My dad has diabetes, my mom got the lap band surgery. I've got a younger brother, Daniel, who got to be 450 pounds, had a stomach surgery, lost it, but then gained it all back. And me personally, I struggle with food on a daily basis. Mostly because my favorite meal is a dozen donuts and some privacy.
Hi, my name is Malcolm Favor. I'm the creator of Dreamerly. We have a special guest today by the name of Sam Polk. I'd like to thank Adroit Sound Entertainment for covering the video aspect of this interview. I'd also like to thank Innovate Pasadena for allowing us to speak with their speaker. And finally, I'd like to thank Cross Campus. Hey, how's it going, Sam? How you doing?
Good, happy to be here, thank you.
Thank you for coming. So, could you tell us a bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, what you do?
Yeah, so I'm actually a Los Angeles native. I grew up in Glendale, and I'm a former hedge fund trader that started a nonprofit in South Los Angeles called Grocery Ships that works at the intersection of poverty and food-related health issues like diabetes and obesity. And I'm also the co-founder and CEO of a social enterprise called Every Table that makes healthy food affordable for everyone. And then in addition to that, I'm a writer. I've written a couple of New York Times op-eds and a book called For the Love of Money that came out a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. You're pretty busy.
I'm a busy guy.
So could you tell us about Every Table? Could you go into more detail about that?
Sure. So Every Table is a social enterprise that literally makes healthy food affordable for everyone. And how we do that is we open a network of grab-and-go storefronts selling fresh, delicious, healthy meals made by some of the best chefs in the country. And then we price those meals based on the incomes of the neighborhoods that the stores are in. So, for example, our first store is in South Los Angeles, where per capita income is $13,000 a year, and life expectancy is 10 years lower than Pacific Palisades. And at that store, we sell the food for $4, so it's less expensive than McDonald's. Our second store is in downtown LA, a much more affluent area, and there we're selling these incredibly delicious meals for $8, which to me is way more affordable than most healthy food options, and also allows us to create margin for our business.
Wow. That sounds great. $4, that's like a bus pass, but you get a healthy meal.
You should see these meals too. There's like a jerk chicken with coconut rice and beans, plantains and kale and carrots. You've got this chicken tinga with chayote peppers and black beans and grains. I mean, these are not, people think about healthy food and they think, oh, it's a dry salad and like a cold whole wheat wrap. But these are meals that are not only filling and delicious, but also celebrate the various cultures and cuisines of Los Angeles.
Wow, you're making me hungry right now. I wish you brought a sample. So what was your inspiration behind starting Every Table?
Grocery Ships basically helps families living in what are called food deserts, which are places where there's very little fresh food for sale and tons of fast food. And Grocery Ships helps parents. Basically, a parent joins a group of 10 other parents, and they go through a 6-month program that's built around nutrition education and healthy cooking skills, and fresh produce is delivered each week. And it's done in the context of a support group to sort of address the emotional and addiction sides of eatings that are often go unaddressed. So while we were running this nonprofit, my co-founder and I started hearing from these families, look, I'm a single mom, I've got 4 kids and 2 jobs, this cooking and this produce is great, but I gotta eat on the go, and in this neighborhood that means McDonald's. And I'm a former Wall Street guy, and my co-founder is a former private equity guy, and I think we were sort of tired of using our skills to create money, and we instead sort of turned around and said, can we use some of what we've learned to create a super innovative, super efficient business model that will allow us to create a scalable, profitable business that sells food to families at lower prices than McDonald's.
Wow. So you made it happen.
Yeah, we opened a week ago, and the response has been electric.
Did you run into any difficulties getting this off the ground?
You know, starting a company is sort of like, you know, flying a plane while building it, or the reverse. So yeah, I mean, there was 100. There was like, you know, in our first storefront, everything got built and we got everything in, and then it turned out that the refrigerators were too high voltage for the entire electrical panel. So it was like, it was this stupid oversight by the architects or whatever, and you know, it cost us quite a bit of money and time. And there was a million things like that. Like, one of the things I've learned about building a company is it's just like to be expected that there's going to be near devastating occurrences every day, and it's all about how you march through them.
Wow. So what are your future goals with Every Table?
Look, we think that Every Table has the potential to, and I don't mean to be grandiose here, but solve the food desert issues. And for me, I think that we will be satisfied when there is an Every Table store in every single food desert in the country, but even more importantly, every single community in the country. And you know, food and healthy food and the price of it is not just a problem in low-income areas. I mean, even in places like Pasadena, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, are living paycheck to paycheck and don't have time to cook, but $14 a tender greens is too much money for them to pay on a regular basis. So we think that Every Table is a model where everybody wins. The families in South LA win. The families that are supporting them in downtown LA and Santa Monica and other more affluent areas, they get an incredible option too. And they also know that their purchases help bring healthy food into neighborhoods where it doesn't exist.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us and elaborate on your business. I wish you good luck with everything that you're doing. It sounds like you're doing some really great things.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Feel free to photobomb. 3, 2, 1.
I'm a creative technologist, a mad scientist, and an escaped circus bear who taught himself how to code. It's one of the beards.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I trained at USC. I got a degree in neuroscience for undergrad and stayed for my victory lap and did my master's in neuroinformatics